carpet on Radio Olive.
रेडियो ऑलिव 106.3 FM अनिरुद्ध आपके साथ. द शो इज कॉल्ड रेड कार्पेट. एक ऐसा शो जहां पर हम लोग बात करते हैं सक्सेसफुल एक्सपैट्स, कतरीज, ऐसे लोगों से जो जिंदगी में एक मकाम हासिल कर चुके हैं. पीपल हु आर गेम चेंजर्स. आज एक गेम चेंजर हमारे साथ दीपक. आज हमारे साथ दीपक रमोला फ्रॉम प्रोजेक्ट फ्यूल. दीपक, गुड मॉर्निंग एंड वेलकम टू द शो.
Good morning and thank you so much for having me.
सो दीपक, वन थिंग इज कि आप बहुत घूमते रहते हैं यहाँ वहाँ. सो वेयर आर यू राइट नाउ?
I am in India और मैं अभी बिल्कुल आज सुबह ही लौटा हूँ देहरादून.
Okay.
शहर में प्रोजेक्ट फ्यूल का हेड ऑफिस है और यही मेरा परिवार भी रहता है. So I am finally back home after globe trotting for almost 2 months.
वाओ. दीपक फाउंडर हैं और आर्टिस्टिक डायरेक्टर हैं प्रोजेक्ट फ्यूल के. व्हाट इज प्रोजेक्ट फ्यूल?
Project Fuel started, I'll tell you the context of it in terms of my personal story.
Sure.
My mother was pulled out of school in class 5 by her grandmother because back in the day girls were not allowed to study. Even today, I mean, a lot of rural remote places face that challenge. So मेरी mother जो है उनको कभी पढ़ने की opportunity नहीं मिल पाई, but I never believed that my mother didn't go to school. She is one of the most smartest and intellectual people I know in my life. So I thought she's lying. और मैं in fact 14 साल की उम्र में एक बार उनके पास गया और एक बहुत ही dramatic confrontation के through I asked her that are you lying about going to school, and she said no, I did not go to school, but जिंदगी जो भी सिखाती है मैं उससे सीखती हुई चलती हूँ. So I am learning from life. And that really was the revelatory statement that lays the foundation of Project Fuel. क्योंकि मुझे एहसास हुआ कि my mother was learning simply by living. That means everyone who's living is learning something. So what is Project Fuel? Really, it is human wisdom from people of all walks of life, so that we all can find human solution to human problems.
Deepak, I want to know about the Wisewall project because the last time we spoke, I was back in India and you were heading to a lovely remote village somewhere in the northeast, if I'm not wrong, to paint a village.
Yes, in Uttarakhand. Yes.
So tell me more about the Wisewall project.
So it's actually in Uttarakhand. So Wisewall project, because I had been documenting life lessons and stories of people in cities and in communities all over the world. I realized that the wisdom that doesn't really make it to media या जो हम किताबों में नहीं पढ़ते, वो is the wisdom of our villages. क्योंकि ना वहाँ ज्यादा लिटरेसी है, ना जोग्राफिकली इतना रीच है, ना ही urban population has that kind of an interest or that kind of a resource and time to go. और साथ ही वहाँ हमारे जो खासकर villages हैं उत्तराखंड में, they are facing a severe migration problem.
Right.
Because better livelihoods, better opportunity, better education is in cities. So I thought it would be an interesting thing to take villages that have become abandoned villages in Uttarakhand and around and document rural wisdom and paint it through wall murals, ताकि ना सिर्फ गांव सुंदर दिखे बल्कि स्टोरीज दिखे कल्चरल पर्सपेक्टिव से, but it also brings more interest from an urban youth audience who are forgotten villages. So we do something very interesting. We place ourselves in a village for a month. We interview every family और उस फैमिली से उस गांव की हिस्ट्री, उस फैमिली की पर्सनल हिस्ट्री से जुड़ी हुई कहानियां हम ढूंढते हैं और फिर आर्टिस्ट के साथ हर उन कहानियों को हर घर की एक दीवार पर we paint it. So by the end of it, the whole village becomes an open air art gallery, a classroom of life lessons. Something we do, and we've finished 2 villages so far. एक हमने उत्तराखंड में ही एक टीरी डिस्ट्रिक्ट में एक गांव है सौर करके, उसे पेंट किया. और जब आपसे बात हुई थी तो we were heading to paint a village on a glacier called Khati.
Oh yes, now I remember. Yes, of course. Acha, there's another series that you do which is called Twice as Wise, and that's on digital. So it's mostly on Facebook and YouTube as well. Tell me about Twice as Wise and any interesting story from Twice as Wise that you'd like to share right now.
जी बिल्कुल. So because I started Project Fuel at the age of 17, and I generally have been doing a lot of on-ground projects, which means I pass these life lessons workshop के through या Wisewall जहाँ गाँव में आप जाके काम करते हैं. So a lot of my digital friends and fans had a huge complaint that they don't get to access all the life lessons, that are my favorite or that have changed my life. So Twice as Wise was a series that developed where I picked up 8 of my favorite life lessons for season 1, जो मैंने पिछले 9-10 सालों में दुनिया भर में पढ़ाए हैं और जो कहीं ना कहीं responsible हैं in shaping me who I am and also have assisted other people.
Right.
So Twice as Wise में 8 episode है, हर episode में एक life lesson I have picked out with a story. And the one that I want to share with you, the one that has really created a ripple effect worldwide, is a story from Banaras. There's a place in Banaras called Mukti Bhavan where people check in to die.
Right.
It's like a hospice cum hostel. I spent 1 week in this guest house. The manager of Mukti Bhavan, Mr. Bhairavnath Shukla, he has been the manager for 44 years and has seen 12,000 deaths. So I interviewed him on what had he learned in life. और उन्होंने मेरे साथ 12 life lessons he gave me, and out of which I have shared the one on the video, which is resolve all conflicts.
Yeah.
And Mr. Bhairavnath Shukla said that of all the 12,000 people, every person on their deathbed, more or less, had one person they wanted to forgive, one person they wanted to say sorry to, or one person they wanted to express their heartfelt gratitude to, but had not done it. In the rush of life, in the ego of life. And he said that his biggest takeaway is to resolve every conflict as soon as you have it.
Yeah.
So
beautiful.
That's one of the most powerful and beautiful ones, because it comes from really people who are on their deathbed and have nothing to take and nothing to gain.
Deepak, apart from that, I want to ask you, if I want to start sharing my life lessons with everyone at Project Fuel, everyone who follows Project Fuel, how do I do that?
So there are a couple of ways. One, you can actually visit the website.
Right.
And as soon as you land on the website, there is a tab called Collect 1 Million Life Lessons. That's our goal.
Right.
And you can submit your life lesson there. But even if you send it through the Facebook message, if you share it through Instagram or other social media platforms, that's completely fine too. Or you can just straight away email it to contact@projectfuel.in, and we will store your life lesson in our database. We will share it with our community, and more importantly, I will design that into a curriculum, and then it's going to reach millions of people around the world as well.
So beautiful. Amazing. You've been traveling a lot throughout the world. कोई ऐसे लोग हैं that you'll always remember?
Yes, for sure. I remember starting के दिनों में Bombay में, because we traveled by local trains. I was at a train station called Andheri, and there was a woman who was just right across the ticket counter line, and she was begging. And the line was long, and it was like, oh, maybe I should speak to her while I wait. So I went over to her and I just asked her, what have you learned in life? She was almost 72 years old. So she said, she told me about her life and about her story. And I said that I'm going to be teaching this lesson in classroom. And she could not believe it. She almost started crying up, and I said, why are you crying? And she said, I'm 62, I'm a widow, I'm a beggar. I feel like I haven't contributed any which way to this world. And you're not telling me that what I think about life or what I have learned from life would be of value to young children in classroom.
Wow.
I mean, I really can't fathom that my life really has found meaning at 72. And I remember that as a pivotal moment, because that's the impression that I've been wanting to create for every person. People like you, or, our mother's story or our grandmother's story will never make it to textbook. Or even the people who are listening to us. Not every individual is going to be a famous celebrity or a CEO.
Yeah.
But everyone who lives a meaningful life and is willing to share the understanding of that life should be remembered by generations to come.
So true.
That's one story that I particularly remember. Absolutely
fantastic. Deepak, one last set of questions. One thing that you always follow in life?
That's a very interesting question. I think I have as sort of my life lesson, I have realized two things. One is share your story. अपनी कहानी जितने लोगों से हो सके, जितनी ज़्यादा बार हो सके और जितनी ज़्यादा तरह से हो सके उतना बांटिए. Because when you share your story, someone feels liberated in the room.
Yeah.
If you say, oh my God, I don't like mayo sauce in my burger, you are for sure bound to find somebody in the room who was afraid to raise their hands and say, oh, I am lactose intolerant too.
Yeah.
I was just too conscious of making that prominent. So sharing your story is very, very important, that I always believe makes you more vulnerable but more strong.
Yeah.
और दूसरी चीज जो है, which I have followed through and through my career, is your talent is not your gift, it's your responsibility. आपका जो हुनर है वो आपको तोहफे में नहीं मिला है. And when you take that as a responsibility, even on days you don't have the best of moves, the best of resources, you will show up to deliver to whatever the highest mark of the project or the calling is.
Yeah.
I think when people start taking responsibility of their skills and talents, they can absolutely revolutionize cultures and worlds and lives, and that's something that guides me constantly.
Deepak, thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure connecting with you again, and I'm sure I'm going to see you very, very soon in Qatar as well.
Yes, I hope to be there as well, and thank you so much for a wonderful interview.
दीपक से हमने बातें की, फाउंडर एंड आर्टिस्टिक डायरेक्टर फॉर प्रोजेक्ट फ्यूल। अगले हफ्ते रेड कार्पेट पर फिर से आपसे मुलाकात होगी। मैं हूं अनिरुद्ध, आपके साथ कतर के नंबर 1 हिंदी रेडियो स्टेशन पर रेडियो ऑलिव 106.3 FM, एंड लेट्स से इट टुगेदर, जियो बिंदास।